that when you think of really reflect the problems of this country, where we seem to turn common sense on its head. You sometimes wonder if anyone needs to tell any group of people that if you're a poor country, you do not need 36 governors, 36 deputy governors, each with 30 members of the House of Assembly, each with commissioners, each with advisors, each with special assistants, a president, a vice president, 36 ministers, special advisors, a bicameral federal legislature, and so on and so on. And that simple arithmetic would tell you that if you have that structure, you are first of all doomed to spending 80, 90% of everything you earn maintaining public offices. It's really common sense, but it seems to be a problem for us to understand it.
For restructuring of the nation. Yeah, we must, the federal government must unbundle. The federal government has no business in agriculture. It should be a policy formulating body. There should be policy formulation at the center. But thereafter, federal government has no business in road construction except interstate roads, not intra-city roads. And you still have in Oyo State and in every state, you have trunking roads. Those trunking roads are federal government roads. They have no business with that. So in terms of all these, what you call exclusive lists and the concurrent lists, they need to be reviewed. And that, for me, is what I call the socioeconomic restructuring of Nigeria.
A lot of solution to Nigeria's problem was embedded in the 2014 confab recommendations. Would you suggest that that recommendation President Buhari should look into? Does he even have the political will of implementing it?
If you talk of political will, I think one of the few presidents we've ever had that has political will is President Buhari. I believe if well presented, articulated to him, he would listen to voice of reasons. I'm sure of that. And he can review it. And what are the things that is to, we are coming from the, if you like, a lot of military influence on the polity from the past. And what we are saying now is we should democratize as much as possible. And we are saying federalism should be democratized. And we should reduce the dependence on the federal government. For instance, I'm doing mining. I'm interested in mining. I have a lot of marble. I have a lot of mineral resources. What is the federal government's business in that? What they should do is to provide an enabling environment for people to participate, to develop whatever they have in their states. And the federal government can tax the states based on that. But it's not that. There are times people come here and they are exploring, doing exploration for mineral resources, and you don't even know how they got here. They'll tell you they have licenses or approvals from the federal government. In my state, where I have the land, where I'm supposed to have the land, where I'm supposed to control the states.
Well, first of all, let me explain to the whole Nigeria that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa. The oil in Delta belongs to Jigawa. Yes, because we are called Nigeria today. So that's what I'm telling you. The oil belongs to us all. And we, as Nigeria, shall do everything possible to make sure we take that oil so that Jigawa people will have the oil as well. Will have the money of the oil. Anybody who thinks the oil of Bayelsa belongs to only Bayelsa is just deceiving himself. As long as we are in Nigeria, we will make sure that we have uninterrupted supply of oil so that there will be uninterrupted supply of money to Jigawa State, as long as we are called Nigeria. Thank you.
The most important thing that we do is about the economic laws and economic foundation of our unity. If you go back, 1950s, Chief Obafemi Awolowo was able to put a team together that met in his house for 2 years every Sunday, non-stop. And Simeon Adebo was secretary of those meetings. and they met to plan how to develop the first industrial estate in Africa. They did it. That is what we call Ikeja Industrial Estate. 60 years ago. From Ikeja, they moved to Ilupeju Industrial Estate. And from Ilupeju, they moved to Apapa Industrial Estate. Those three estates were the most advanced economic cradles of modernization in Africa 60 years ago. They did it because there was autonomy in Nigeria for the Western region to plan its own development according to the resources available to it. If you look back now, the Civil War was fought not just to humiliate and destroy Igbo land. It was also fought to take away the oil and gas resources of the Niger Delta. Why? In 1969, when the war was going on, the military government made a law called Decree Number 51, which compelled all the oil companies first to move to Lagos, where they are now. Governor Kwabio should be interested. Mobile is still there. Mobile should be in Eket. Second law, part of the law, 1969, all oil resources, 100%, should be taken to the federal government. That was the end of Nigeria. That law is still there now. Until we remove it, we don't belong to one country yet. Where is the law? It's in section 44, subsection 3 of the Constitution. It looks so innocuous, you will not know it exists. But that's what they have used to paralyze the country. No meaningful economic or social development can happen anywhere. All state governors and governments are compared to job pay salaries alone now. You cannot initiate any bold development program because the federal government has seized the resources for developing the country. Those resources must be taken away from the federal government and returned to the owners of the resources. So, Decree Number 51, which is now masqueraded as Section 44, subsection 3 of the Constitution, which says all revenue from all minerals, oil, and natural gas found in, on, under, or above any part of Nigeria, and in the economic zone that goes 200 kilometers into the Atlantic Ocean, all that money belongs to the federal government of Nigeria. Foul.
There is no oil producing state. The only oil producing state is the Nigerian state itself. Because the investment came from the Nigerian state. The territory belongs to the Nigerian state. And whatever mileage you get in the sea, according to the United Nations law of the sea, is a measure of the landmass that you have. That is what gives you the mileage into the sea. If you have a small landmass, you get a small cut of the sea. And the landmass of this country, we know, that gives us that long 200 miles or nautical miles or more into the ocean, is because of that 72% of the landmass of this country, which is the north. So what they claim is the offshore oil is actually the oil of the north. If anybody should own it, it's the north. So we should stop using these terms that have no sense at all. There are no oil producing states. It is only the Nigerian state that produces oil.
The present structure of governance we have in our country will not lead us to the peace and stability and progress that we want. We do need to restructure our governance architecture I think we need to return to regionalism, which would give us a truer federation than what we have at the moment. I think if we had a federation of 6 units based on the existing 6 geopolitical zones, with the existing states remaining as development areas within the regions, but without the full paraphernalia of administration, which contributes to the fact that we as a country at the moment are spending over 70% of our revenue on just administration. We could never develop on that basis. And also the fact that we do not have a genuine federation means that there is what I've described as destabilizing competition for the control of the center. A competition that fans the embers of ethnic differences, religious differences, and to check all that, if we had a truer federation of 6 units, with each unit developing at its own pace, but with all of us coming together at the center for the national institutions, we can be surer of greater peace and stability in the future.
Without the restructuring in this country, I cannot see us transforming it into one nation. We have to, I also suggested that we should have a national conference of ethnic nationalities. Bring the ethnic nationalities together so that we can tell ourselves the honest truth about ourselves. We are not prepared to do that. The problem is leadership. We need a leader who appreciates the importance of this mission, this dream, and who is prepared to work for it. Nothing is ever said about this. Since Buhari took over, has he ever said one word about how to transform Nigeria into one nation? Let us believe in restructuring. You can't transform this nation unless you restructure the federal system. So, at 85, I'm still hoping and praying that our dear country will be transformed into one nation.